Welcome to Anafram Market Perspectives.
Anafram Market Perspectives. Monday setup, tariff backup plans, food price relief, and a big week of data and earnings. Welcome back. In the next few minutes, I will walk you through how the S&P 500 opens this week, the latest developments on President Trump's tariff strategy and food price exemptions, the most important economic data coming from Monday through Friday, the key earnings lineup, the global futures picture, and our bonus look at Q QQQ, Alibaba, and Dell. S&P 500 pre-market snapshot. The market starts the week with a positive tone across most major sectors. Technology remains the main source of strength, with Apple gaining close to 2%, Amazon more than 1%, and Google leading the communications services group with gains above 3%. Nvidia trades slightly lower but holds support, while Microsoft is modestly red. Semiconductors such as Qualcomm, Micron, and Texas Instruments show solid early momentum. Consumer discretionary is mixed, with Tesla down slightly while Nike and Home Depot trend higher. Financials are stable, helped by Visa, MasterCard, and Bank of America, though some insurance names lag behind. Healthcare trades mostly in the green across large drug makers. Energy is mixed as crude prices dip. Overall, pre-market sentiment leans constructive, with leadership anchored in technology and communication services. Trump tariffs and policy update. Tariff policy remains at the center of this week's narrative. The White House is quietly preparing a backup plan in case the Supreme Court rules that President Trump did not have the authority to issue emergency tariffs under the IEEPA. Agencies are studying alternate paths under Section 301 and Section 122, which would allow tariffs to continue but through slower and more limited tools. Officials emphasize that regardless of the ruling, tariffs will remain a core part of the administration's trade strategy. At the same time, the president expanded tariff exemptions on Brazilian goods, lifting duties on beef, coffee, cocoa, and fruits. This follows last week's broader exemptions aimed at lowering grocery prices as affordability becomes a top political concern. The United States also finalized an agreement with Switzerland that lowers Swiss tariff rates from 39% to 15% in exchange for major investment commitments. The China truce remains steady, with both countries pausing additional measures on rare earths and chip-related restrictions. Trump also continues promoting the idea of a $2,000 tariff dividend check for Americans next year, though analysts warn it would require significant congressional support. And finally, the Congressional Budget Office now expects tariff revenue to reduce deficits by $3 trillion instead of the $4 trillion estimated in August, reflecting recent easing of several tariff categories. Economic data to watch this week. The economic calendar is heavy and spread across the week. Monday opens with United States industrial production numbers and several statements from European central bank officials. Japan is closed for Labor Day, which may slightly reduce overnight liquidity. On Tuesday, attention shifts to employment and inflation, with the ADP labor update, producer price data, and retail sales. Consumer confidence will also be released mid-morning, followed by crude inventory numbers from the American Petroleum Institute and the latest Atlanta Fed GDP Now estimate. Wednesday brings the largest concentration of high-impact data: United States building permits, Q3 GDP, the GDP Price Index, durable goods orders, core and headline PCE inflation, personal spending, and crude oil inventories. Markets often react sharply to this cluster. Thursday will be quieter due to the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday, but Canada publishes its current account and Japan releases Tokyo inflation and new industrial numbers later in the night. Friday closes the week with Canada's GDP, the Chicago PMI, and the Federal Reserve's balance sheet, with U.S. markets closing early. Key earnings of the week. This is a broad and globally diverse earnings week. On Monday, British American Tobacco, Grupo Mexico, Agilent, Keysight, and Zoom headline the session, giving early insight into consumer staples, metals, automation, and cloud communications. Tuesday is one of the busiest days of the month, with Alibaba, Analog Devices, Dell Technologies, Autodesk, Workday, Best Buy, and Dick's Sporting Goods reporting. Their numbers will shape sentiment across e-commerce, semiconductors, software, and retail. Wednesday focuses on industrials and autos with Deere and Company, Li Auto, Benko Macro, Ehang, and Nordic American Tankers. Thursday brings smaller but relevant updates from Asseco, Sarabi Gold, Duluth, Brandhouse Collective, and Falcon Oil and Gas. Friday closes the week with Meituan, Cathay Financial, TRX Gold, Jericho Oil, and MOGU, offering a final read on Asian consumer demand and commodities. Futures and commodities index futures open higher across the Dow, the S&P, the Nasdaq, and the Russell. Crude oil trades softer near $58 to $60, while natural gas firms to above $4.5. Gold stays above $4,060 and silver holds near $49. The dollar index is stable and Bitcoin trades around 85,000. Bonus charts, Q QQQ is stabilizing at the middle Bollinger Band with momentum flattening on the MACD. Alibaba is attempting a recovery ahead of Tuesday's earnings, while Dell trades near short-term resistance after a strong reversal. Game plan: remain balanced through midweek volatility. Focus on quality names reporting earnings and monitor tariff news closely as markets adjust to policy uncertainty.
Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, hit subscribe and share this with others. See you next time on Anafram Market Perspectives.